Welcome to Quick Hits. I'm your host, Shannon Smith, aka Podcast Smitty. It is WNBA Friday, and I can't wait to talk about the collective bargaining agreement negotiations between the WNBA and the WNBA PA, along with a preview of the second half for all 13 teams in the WNBA. If you're new to the show, what's good? I'm Shannon. I'm a fan of sport. And Quick Hits is the only podcast on Boom Broadcasting that discusses the WNBA. So let's hit that theme music and let's start the show. Can't fall off, now they holler he'll turn, thinking I'ma sell out, talking just to feel heard. I never listen, although they say it's strictly. Just like my Fan of Sport Tuesday, WNBA Friday is changing around as well. This segment is called Crashing the Boards. That's where we cover general discussion and discuss headlines around the WNBA. We're getting back into the season a week removed from the WNBA All-Star Game, and the ongoing story wasn't really the game. It was about the players with the black shirts with the words, "Pay us what you owe us." You could see the hostility between players and fans aimed at WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. All the boos, the chants of "pay them" coming from the 16,000 fans in Indiana, saying all those things to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, a sight and a sound that WNBA All-Star MVP Nafisa Collier said gave her chills. Now, while the weekend was going on and through a little bit of this week, I've seen a lot of sexist, racist, and inaccurate comments all across social media about these players doing this. And 90% of this isn't even about basketball. It's not about strategy. It's not about the terminology of basketball. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Now, the way I see it, that's the internet for you. That's social media for you. So we can't judge that too hard. That's not the best information site. That's not something that you go for your information, because it's a lot of opinions. It's a lot of hate speech. It is what it is. So the First Amendment says you can't be arrested for what you say, but that doesn't mean that you have to tolerate what these people are saying. So take that under consideration. Now, these players are getting called delusional and entitled, and people are saying things about their lifestyles. And that to me is very unfair. But take this under consideration when you start saying that these players are entitled. Natasha Cloud, who won the skills competition, when they asked what she was going to do with the money that she won from the competition, she's going to use it on a down payment for a house for her and her wife. I don't see that as entitled. I see that as somebody wanting to provide for her family. That's what we want to do, provide for ourselves and others. Also, too, Sabrina Ionescu, who won the three-point competition, she's going to share her winnings with Sonia Citron, who is the only rookie to be a part of the three-point competition. Sabrina Ionescu told her that if she won it, she'd split it with her. She's going to keep her word, and she did that. I don't see that as entitlement. I see that as a vet wanting to help a younger player, wanting to do things for a younger player. I don't see the entitlement that they're talking about. That's two examples right there. I know that there are more examples out there, but those are two examples right here. So what I want to understand here also too is that all of us have been here before, I'm pretty sure. All of us have wanted to negotiate a salary after a promotion, or went to our bosses and asked for a raise. So you're just one of those that just took the salary and that was it? You didn't ask questions? You didn't think that you were qualified for a raise? These ladies feel like they're qualified for a raise. They see the business growing, so they want to grow with the business. And I don't see that as a problem. But I know that there's going to be ones out there that are going to say, well, the WNBA is not profitable. They lost money last year. The NBA picks up the tab for the WNBA. We all hear that. We know. Now listen, saying that the WNBA lost money last year is like telling Marvel fans that Wakanda is not a real country in Africa. We know. We all know. However, if you've been like me and you've watched this organization from 1997 till now, you will know that there's been an exponential growth in women's basketball. There's been a exponential growth in the WNBA in the past 2 years. We've seen that. The television views have doubled. The ticket sales have doubled. Merch, all of those things, they've all doubled from the time that the WNBA was in inception until now. Look at it like this. The WNBA introduced a new team this year in the Golden State Valkyries. Do you know that they sold out 3 straight home games in the beginning of this year and sold out 11 more right before the All-Star break? And speaking of expansion teams, if a league that is declining, that doesn't bring in a profit, why are they introducing 5 new teams in 5 years? 2 teams will be coming next year. 3 teams will be coming in the next 3 years. A team, a franchise that is declining, not making a profit, don't you think they wouldn't be expanding? Exactly. Also, too, a $2.2 billion TV rights agreement was signed by the WNBA and the NBA last year that is going to bring in $150 million to the WNBA in 11 years. So this is what I want you to understand. If you were in a franchise and you saw that they were signing a contract and was ensuring money in the next few years, don't you think that you would want to be a part of that growth for the next few years? That's what these ladies are asking for. Now, I know that there was something said about Angel Reese wanting to be paid like an NBA player. I've looked for that quote and I've not seen it. I don't know if it's real or not. Maybe somebody might have made it, might have been clickbait. I don't know. But as far as that, these ladies aren't saying that. These ladies want to go and grow with the business. And what is wrong with that? I don't see that as a problem. Lastly, if women's basketball is not your thing, if it's not your favorite sport, if it's not something that you want to watch, then don't watch. Don't ruin it for other people that like the WNBA. Don't ruin it for them. Let them enjoy sport. See, mouthing off of Mike, and I got to give credit to my man right there, host of the Nightcap. Go watch him Monday and Friday night after Raw and after SmackDown. That's my guy. He put up a very good video last year. I'm one of these people, I don't really like sports fans that take sports too seriously. You know, wishing death on a player or wishing bad things to happen to a player and their families, no matter what the sport is, no matter what it is, whether you watch football, whether you watch baseball, wrestling, MMA, whatever. If you're a person that does that right there, you suck. And some of these people have said some horrible things about some of these players online, and you suck. So that is terribly wrong. You know, I love sport, and I have a great time watching sport, and I enjoy it, and I have fun. But when it comes down to things like that, that's just absolutely stupid. And some of these people ought to be ashamed of themselves of what they've said about WNBA players and athletes in general. And that goes for whatever sport you watch. But for some of these guys out there that are saying this stuff, and I'm not saying guys as in men, I'm saying guys as in a collective group of people that are saying that the WNBA is done for saying this. Which one of the mean ladies hurt you? Let me know in the comments. I'll go out there and I'll go get them. That segment got a little heavy, so now it's time for us to take a commercial break.
Don't you touch that dial.
While you're doing so, go ahead and subscribe to the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel and go through the plethora of podcasts that we have in the field of TV and movies, sports, and sports entertainment. We have live podcasts for your pro football, your sports news, your college football, your college basketball, and your professional wrestling. We have solo podcasts on Major League Baseball, the National Basketball Association, the Dallas Cowboys. We're not fans. Your TV and movie reviews, and more professional wrestling. Now, let's get back to our show. Welcome back to the show. Now, let's get to these 13 teams and let's talk about them. their first half performances, along with what to see from them in the second half. We'll go ahead and begin with our bottom team, our number 13 team in the WNBA, and that is the Connecticut Sun. Good news for Sun fans. They will be back in Connecticut for the 2026 season. There was talk saying that they might relocate, but not this time. They've been the Connecticut Sun since 2003. They were the Orlando Miracle from 1999 to 2002. They've been the Connecticut Sun since 2003. Now, with the Connecticut Sun, why they're not doing so well this year, they won only 3 games this year. And the reason being for that is because they lost their head coach. Their head coach was relieved, Stephanie White, who is now with the Indiana Fever. She has been relieved of her job before the beginning of this season. And their starting 5 from last year is gone. Dejanay Carrington going to the Dallas Wings. Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner going to the Phoenix Mercury. Bree Jones going to the Atlanta Dream. That's their starting 5. They pretty much have lost their starting 5. That's 4 of their 5 there. Tina Charles elected to go back to the Connecticut Sun. She's a former UConn Husky, and she was drafted by the Connecticut Sun when she went out of college, when she came out from UConn. Played there, wanted to come back home. She has. Tina Charles, one of the standout players for this squad. You know, she's one of the greatest players in WNBA history that has not won a ring in the WNBA. She is very deserving of what she gets in the WNBA, the second all-time leading rebounder. She's a heck of a player. Unfortunately, she's home, but sadly, the Connecticut Sun have some rebuilding to do. Marina Mabrey is another player there, averaging 15 points a game, along with Tina Charles. Those are the shining stars on this team. Marina Mabrey has been injured for a little bit of the season. Unfortunately for the Connecticut Sun, they're our 13th team. I don't really see them moving up the ladder, getting to the playoffs this year. Looks like a rebuilding year for them. And also another team that is rebuilding, that is the Dallas Wings at number 12. Paige Becker, she should win Rookie of the Year this year. I don't see anybody beating her for Rookie of the Year. She's had a standout year. Sonia Citron, Kiki Arayafin, who we'll be talking about later, they may contend, but looks like it's Paige Buckets for Rookie of the Year. They have a young backcourt, JJ Quinterly and Isaiah James, great players. And I feel like they're going to build around that core into the coming years. Arike Gumbawale, who was the scoring champion for the WNBA last year, I really don't see her being back on this team next year. They might deal her away. She might go into free agency. We don't know. But the Dallas Wings are at number 12. Number 11 is the Chicago Sky. Of course, losing Courtney Vandersloot for the year, big blow to them. She's out for the season. I believe it was an ACL tear, and she had successful surgery on it in June. Thankfully, she's okay. But this squad, the Chicago Sky, they have the best rebounder in the WNBA in Angel Reese. They have Camila Cardosa, who plays very well in the post. They just got to develop some consistent shooting is what they have to develop. And Chicago doesn't have the consistent shooting. They're a good team, a good young team. Build around that young core. They're at number 11. Don't see them going towards the playoffs or making a playoff push. I don't see that. Along with the Dallas Wings, I think those 3 teams right there are for the rebuild. And coming in at number 10 is the Los Angeles Sparks. This team I really like. There's a lot of potential with this squad. I know that there is a little bit of chemistry that they've got to get down together. Kelsey Plum coming over from the Las Vegas Aces, bringing that championship pedigree to the Los Angeles Sparks. But they look like they're a squad that has fun together. They look like they can play some good basketball together. De'Erica Hamby, great post player. Azuria Stevens and Rakia Jackson, great ball players, adding on to Kelsey Plum, going alongside, going to war with her in the basketball games. I want to see Cameron Brink. I'm looking forward to her return. She's still rehabbing that knee. So I want to see what Cameron Brink will bring to this team. It could be a championship surge coming in another year with this young squad. Number 10 is the Los Angeles Sparks. Number 9, the surprise team this year, because it's their first year, the Golden State Valkyries. They're saying to the whole league, what expansion team? This team is fun to watch. They've sold out home games. They're very excited for this team. They have a great mixture of veteran players, rookies, and international players. Caleb Thornton, going from being a role player with the New York Liberty, but going to this squad and becoming an all-star. That's a great story. This team has been fun to watch, a great story. They've been playing great basketball this year. I like seeing how they play. Golden State Valkyries, I think they will probably be out of the playoffs this year. I don't think they'll make it, but they'll come very, very close. They're like the Los Angeles Sparks to me. I think they're going to come very, very close as well. I think they might be close but no cigar for both of those teams. But Golden State, I look to see them play some great basketball from years to come, building on that squad. They're a great young coach, doing great things over there in Golden State. Let's see what else they have, but I see them out of the playoffs. Number 8, the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces have been a team that have declined this year. They were neck and neck for the championship last year, losing to the eventual champion New York Liberty in a revenge game. But of course, they added on some pieces, Chelsea Gray and Asia Wilson, getting Jewel Lloyd on the squad. But it's been rough getting that chemistry down. You've heard Becky Hammon be very vocal about this team's lack of hustle, this team not playing together. She's gotten on to them. Becky Hammon, a very, very tough coach. She's a disciple of Greg Popovich. She knows some basketball. She was a great player also, too, for the WNBA as well. But when they get that chemistry down, the Vegas Aces will be back. They'll play great basketball. Plus, it also helps that Asia Wilson, 3-time MVP. She's a champion, the best player in the WNBA in my eyes. I think she'll start that team right. I think that team will start playing well. I think they'll have a second half surge. Nalissa Smith making it on the team now. Good acquisition. Going to help the front court for the Vegas Aces. I see them getting into that playoffs. I do. The Atlanta Dream is the next squad. The only thing about them that is very unfortunate is Ryan Howard getting hurt. That is the only thing that's unfortunate about this squad. This squad has played very well. Alicia Gray making heads turn for that MVP vote. She's played very, very well this year. I love Alicia Gray, the way that she has played. She is dangerous. Bree Jones has played very well. Brittany Griner being added on to that team. The Atlanta Dream, I think that they'll go to the playoffs. I think they will. But I think they may just come up short in that playoff. I don't think they'll get to the final. But it's going to be tough. They're going to play some great basketball. Ryan Howard get well soon. Come help the Atlanta Dream get a deep run into the playoffs. And the Washington Mystics, this is a great young squad. Brittany Sykes getting into the All-Star game. It was by injury, but yet and still, she got to the All-Star game. There was injured players that she replaced. But Brittany Sykes, she was a snub, but it was because it was such a deep voting. But Brittany Sykes, she's been a scoring machine this year. I'm loving the young players, Sonia Citron, Kiki Arayafin, adding on to that squad. The Mystics are scary. They're on and off sometimes. I don't like the fact that they're on and off, but they can play. They're a very, very good squad. Like them, I think they're going into the playoffs as well. The Seattle Storm. Seattle, they're a very good offensive and defensive team. I like the way that they play. Nneka Ogwumike, Miss President. She's got a few things on her mind when it comes down to the CBA. Well, Miss President playing some great ball. Gabby Williams, Skylar Diggins, Erica Wheeler. The Storm, they're due. They're due for a deep run in the playoffs. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do. I think that they can get there. They might be one of those Final Four teams, I believe, because that fourth team is debatable. I think it is. I think that fourth team is very debatable. It may be between them, the Atlanta Dream. I want to see how that works out. And then the Indiana Fever at number 4. This is the power rankings that I looked at on ESPN, by the way. Sorry about that. But the Indiana Fever, one thing about them that has been tough is that Caitlin Clark has missed 11 games this year. But her team has been playing very, very well. Kelsey Mitchell playing very good. And Alea Boston playing great. The enforcer, Sophie Cunningham, she did get fined for saying some bad stuff about the refs. But Sophie Cunningham has been one of those enforcers for that Indiana Fever squad. You ask Marina Mabry how that went. You ask J.C. Shelton how that went for that Connecticut Sun squad. So Indiana, I think they'll get into the playoffs. I think there might be that 7th team or that 8th team. I think they will. It just depends on the health of Caitlin Clark. That's been what the WNBA didn't want to see with CC getting hurt. She is the most popular player in the WNBA. Let's go ahead and leave it at that. Let's say it. Let's tell it what it is. She's a popular player in the WNBA. And they want to see her play. But I think her squad gets in. I think they go for another playoff in her tenure. Stephanie White's first year back with the Indiana Fever as the head coach. The Indiana Fever. And then next is the Phoenix Mercury. I think that they're the biggest threat to get to the WNBA Finals. I think they're the biggest threat to the next 2 teams. I think they are. So Kalia Copper, she's got to get back healthy. Satu Sabali, she was injured, which is why she was replaced in the All-Star game. Kalia Copper got to do that. But Alyssa Thomas has been the glue for that squad. Alyssa Thomas has played very good basketball. She's been playing very well. A very salty veteran, knows how to play the game. She plays very well. Very good distributor, great rebounder. She's a triple-double. Walking triple-double is what she is. 16 in her career. So the Phoenix Mercury could be the biggest threat to the 2 that we're playing, that we're looking at as the top 2. And the second best team to me has got to be the New York Liberty. Jonquel Jones coming back from the injury, adding on Emma Meesman coming back, making her comeback to the WNBA. But the New York Liberty, they're dangerous. Brianna Stewart still playing her best basketball. Sabrina Ionescu, Natasha Cloud being a great add-on to this squad here. The Liberty are dangerous. But the number 1 squad in the WNBA has got to be the Minnesota Lynx. In the middle of this season, 13 straight wins at home without a loss. They have played great basketball, all led by Nafisa Collier, a.k.a. MVP. Yes, get that name started there, MVP. She's been playing like she's on fire. There's a little bit of revenge on the minds of the Minnesota Lynx. I think that they will get to the finals this year. I think they're going to be one of those teams playing in the WNBA Finals. I don't see them getting upset if they keep this momentum going with the great play that they've had. Alana Smith playing great. Courtney Williams playing great basketball here. Minnesota's tough. Those are your teams. Those are your power rankings right now from 13 to 1 right here on Quick Hits. That is our WNBA Friday show. If you want more content, hit these videos here for more content from Boom Broadcasting. Check out our plethora of podcasts that we have in the field of TV, movies, sports, and sports entertainment here on Boom Broadcasting. Until next Tuesday for your Fan of Sport Tuesday and your WNBA Friday for today, I'm Shannon Smith, and this is Quick Hits.